I am a man of my word, so here it is, Boss Rush without synergy. I really only switched out 2 characters, and that's in all 3 teams. Normally, Trey would be here, but for the Treyless, I opted for Sarah, and she worked out quite well. Really, the name of the game here is pumping up Gladio's off-turn damage as much as possible. Really, everything down to the calls is the same. The only difference is Sarah instead of Trey, like I just said. And I opted for the Brother Summon because I think that this is something that is very overlooked. Other people have commented on this too, but I want to reiterate. The Max Brave regen that Sarah has. It's not initial Brave based. It's Max Brave based, which is so much bigger. It's a huge difference. And I think a lot of that is getting either undervalued or overlooked by people who want to make comments about Sarah. They shouldn't, if they're not going to look into that. That's my opinion on that. Sarah is very good, and that's one of the main reasons as to why. I mean, you'll see it. That on top of we kind of have 2 sources of HP damage up between Paladin and Sarah, which really lets Gladio just go crazy. And from what I remember, I still have Gladio and Paladin Cecil's HP passes removed from when I did the 2-party clear. But I think there's an argument to be made that we could have benefited from removing Sarah's as well. But I didn't do that. But with Brothers, the Brother Summon, I figure, okay, if Sarah's party-wide Brave regen is based off of Max Brave, let's get all the Max Brave. So I brought Brothers, and it worked out. I'm going to say I do feel bad for people trying to do this without Gladio. It is possible, though. There are comps that can do it. I've seen Sarah, Furion, and Paladin do it. I've seen people bring Jack to the first wave. I've seen Aranea on the first wave. Like, I've seen all kinds of different things. But Gladio is highly recommended. So if you have him, which I know most people do, if you have him, bring him. I'm trying to think of a character who has aged better than him, and it's difficult. Now, I didn't use him that much because I tend to not roll with tanks very often. But Boss Rush is a very different animal, and he's not just a tank, he's a tank and counter unit, so everybody knows about off-turn damage and Boss Rush and how it's the best thing you could bring. Especially for earlier waves, always. To just chop away as much of these bosses as we can early on. Yeah, I originally wasn't sure if I was even going to upload this because, like I said, it's not that different from previous runs I've done before. There's barely any changes, but I was torn. So you may have seen it, you may not have, but I'll just mention it here. I made a post on this YouTube showing the screenshot of all the parties I used, and basically just asked you guys, like, should I even bother uploading this, given the fact that it's so similar to runs I've done previously. The only difference really is there isn't synergy. And that includes calls. There's no synergy calls either. None of that. I've never been a big fan of no synergy, and then there's, like, in video titles, like, no synergy. And then, like, Trey comes out as a call, be like, okay, well, that doesn't really help us. The Trey call is good, but I didn't want to use it here because if I'm going to say no synergy, I'm not going to just bust out the synergy call. That seems kind of bogus to me. But the Setzer call, I think, could pass because it's not like you have to go pull for Setzer to get it. I mean, you should have Setzer's 15. Like, everyone should. And it's not even about the damage that does. It's just to freeze the snakes. But I didn't do that here either. Turns out we didn't need to. Jesus, Gladio. You just don't have to worry with him around. It's nuts. This should cap. No, okay. I misjudged. Never mind. But this, like, Gladio normally doesn't do that much damage. But he is very hooked up right now. But you wouldn't know that if you were to dismiss Sarah because of her base kit and the fact that she did not get a rework. I don't want to say too much more about that, but at least for now, but those two takes are the worst takes when you're analyzing characters' upgrades and LDs and stuff. Like, how many times do we have to see it before people stop saying stupid things like that? I'm not going to pull any punches. That's just stupid at this point. Like, what's the definition of insanity? Performing the same way over and over again and expecting different results. That's kind of what's happening here with that claim. It's not even just about Sarah. I mean, okay, take a look at Aerith, for example. Her base kit is not very good, but Aerith is still dominating the support meta right now. Why is that? Because her LD is amazing, and she didn't get a rework either. This trend is going to keep happening. It's still happening on the Japanese server. Characters who aren't getting reworks, but are getting awesome LDs and are still crushing it. So please stop with that take, because it's terrible. Okay, end rant. Anyway, back to the fight at hand. Other good party 1 options. I've seen X-Death for the sap, Emperor just for more off-turn damage. Even seen Gabranth for the sap. You got options, but again, those without Gladio, I feel bad for you, because he really does make this much easier, I have to admit. Shout out to Black Nero, by the way. That Aerith example, I straight up stole that from him. But it's a perfect example. I had to just echo that sentiment here. Okay, 1 action left. We gotta go in and kill the Scorpions before Team 2 arrives. Jesus, Gladio, my goodness. But Sarah's base kit. I'm sorry. I can't with that. I just can't. And I possibly just misspoke. Sarah's LD did get a global first rework. You get my point, though. You know what I'm trying to say here. Just in the nick of time, they killed the first 2 waves. Well done, guys. Time to fly. And yes, this team is not going to stay here the whole time. They are here to bully the dragons and get out. And they are going to leave much earlier than they did the first time I ran this team. Because if you watched the first time I did this, I kind of just kept going with them. Even when they're hitting ones, like I wasn't paying attention to debuffs or anything. I was just skill spamming and acting pretty foolish. But it was fun, and that's all that matters, I guess. I am gonna miss this, not gonna lie, but it's gonna be okay. You know what? I have another rant. Whatever. I'll just keep going. It's gonna be like this. I'm also sick of people saying that strategies like launch comps are quote unquote not even playing the game. Like, just shut up with that. Just stop. Like, I'm so sick of hearing that. Like anybody can run a launch comp. First of all, that's not true. Trust me, I've seen it. And secondly, I don't remember asking you what teams I should be using for what stages. Like, I don't remember who made you the arbiter of what fun is, so don't tell me I'm not having fun, because it feels like I'm enjoying it. So, maybe I would know what I find fun more than you do. It's just ridiculous. Okay. I really like that this is kind of like a subscriber requested video, and I'm using it as an excuse to just rant about stuff. I'm going to talk more about the fight. Okay, I'm sorry, everybody. Anyway, yeah, I'm using this to just bully, but launch comps are... I haven't seen too many for this part, but they're out there. I have seen a lot of Arciella here to shut down these dragons, as well as Squall I see a lot on the second team and the third team. So that's another option. And Celeste too, to just kind of keep them off your backs. Alright, snake time. And like I said, they're not going to stay here for much longer. The snake team, yes, I definitely... You'll see it in a second, so I'll just spoil it now. I ran Aranea and Onion Knight again, and I don't think... Like, it was just too effective to not do. Because I know most people have Aranea. At least if they've been playing since Chaos. Most people have her. And I would argue that even if you skipped her LD, she could probably still be pretty good for this. Probably not as good, but still an option. Speaking of, here we go. And yes, I replaced Y'shtola with Aerith. So it's just the right amount of debuffs, because Onion Knight doesn't have any. He normally has Ice and Peril, but they're immune to that. Like it matters, they're weak to ice anyway, so we see 65 and we're good. So debuffs would be Aerith's debuff. I don't remember if it's called Seal Evil. I don't remember. But whatever debuff she inflicts, no, it's called like Planet's Protection or something like that. So it's that one, Vital Crusher from Aranea, and I just went with Jack this time. I don't think we really needed it because we're going to be capping anyways, but whatever. And I wanted to do strictly no synergy, so I didn't want to bring the Setzer Call this time. And truthfully, with this setup, didn't matter much. Like, the only person that really would have helped out would have been Aerith, if we had the Setzer Call. But the other two are just breaking constantly anyways, so not really a big deal. We're about ready to burst once it's her turn. Stop getting turn rate, Aerith. Okay, there we go. So the spines are gone. Yeah, okay, just the fact that they put the spines up, you have to break them 3 times, and all Aranea does is break targets. Spines are gone instantly. Like, if you have her, just bring her here. Like, I'm serious, just do it. You'll notice such a big difference. But I have seen a lot of Squall here. I've seen a lot of Celeste here. That's more like playing off of like off-turn damage. I don't personally like Celeste here because she already takes up 2 debuff slots just on her own, which really limits who else you can bring to this. You better have just 1 more debuff and nothing else. So if you were to run Celeste with the Setzer Call, you can't have any more debuffs. I think that's why Squall is a popular choice. Speaking of, there he is. Because he just hits and hits and hits and doesn't have any debuffs, so he's good for this. Oh, another popular character, well, not super popular, but seen a couple other people do this, is Strago with the Insta-Breaks. Which is a great pick. Like, he's doing all this damage and breaking them constantly. I know he wasn't the real prize of the Realm banner, but he's still pretty good. Okay, I'm not going to rant about that too, am I? I don't think so. No, I'm good. I'm gonna chill this time. No, I'm not. Stop minimizing characters. Stop dismissing people just because you heard some content creator say it. Like, think for yourself, please. And that includes me. Challenge me and all the stuff I say, because I'm wrong all the time too. And so is your favorite content creator. We all make mistakes. Any honest content creator would admit that. Okay, end rant. This was fun, huh, guys? Listening to this. Anyways, That, I didn't mean to press. The Pinello call. That was a mistake. I meant to LD there, and I pressed all this. So yeah, we definitely could have done this faster. Because she's got... Yeah, I didn't need to HP attack with Aerith at all. I could have just spammed LDs and would have been fine. HP requirement is good. So I was going to heal, and then I realized we don't need to. Let's just win. Done. So that is my non-synergy comp. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope it helps. Thanks for watching.
It's hard to overstate my satisfaction. Aperture science. We do what we must because we can. For the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead.